Margina Jose, and we are
Melanin Uncut.
Uncut. As you guys can see, we have a title. We have a name, Julie.
I'm so happy because if you guys didn't know, we pre-recorded the last few videos and we didn't have a name up until probably like a few weeks ago. And we are excited. We love the name. It's like totally us.
It is. It is. And Melanin Uncut, guys, it's everyone. It's anyone of, it's just to embrace who we are. It's not to like denominate anybody and say, hey, you're not melanin. Like everybody is welcome here. Everyone. We just like melanin because we are melanin. It's obvious, right?
Period. Boo.
Period. Like we are. Look at us. Anyways, so all our information will be down below in the description box, guys. Look at our previous episode. It's gonna be up here in the iCards. And yeah, so at this moment we're gonna get into our ad of the day. Well, I don't know if we're gonna have an ad of the day per episode, but check out this ad if you're interested in any upcoming sales or any upcoming objects, or if you're check out this, just check it out. Just Julie, after our last episode,
she calls him daddy because he pretty much has helped raise her. Now the question is, staying focused to Monique's situation, right? You're not raised with a father. Do you think it's appropriate to call your man daddy?
Like, how did you feel with all these daddy issues? Like, did you leave that conversation feel like you got daddy issues?
I left that conversation thinking we need to have a whole segment on that and a whole
period
conversation about it, because it left me on some all right, we need to speak on this for real, and maybe add somebody on to the podcast, the show.
Absolutely. Like I'm down for that. Like I definitely think like having another perspective would kind of be interesting. But yeah, I think when I left the conversation too, I was just like, dang, do I got daddy issues? Like it started making me question.
Which is why I was like, I think it will hit a personal level if we would definitely talk about it on an episode.
Absolutely. So if you guys are interested in us talking about daddy issues or having that as a topic, make sure you hit that thumbs button or leave a comment down below so we know what to do on our next episode. So you guys, if you see me looking at my notebook, I am a girl who has to write notes and read it. I don't care. I'm not too cool for a pencil and a paper, period.
Since we're throwing out disclaimers, I have to add that, there's going to be times where I cough.
Shit is real. Shit is getting real.
I don't have the Rona, okay?
You don't have Corona?
I don't have the Rona. I just have seasonal asthma. So I'm like... So I'm just coughing all over the place, but I will definitely mute myself if you're talking, of course.
Perfect. So we just want to throw that out there because it's a little sensitive out here in these streets. So let's get into pop culture. Pop culture, all right. We're gonna get into Cardi B. Now, I don't know if you saw it, Issa, but Cardi B posted up a video of her asking her followers about picking out a purse or a bag, and I guess it cost like $80,000. Like when I said $80,000, I was like, damn, I could do with 80,000 right now. Like
I could do a whole lot with $80,000.
I could do a lot with $80,000. I was like, okay, Cardi, you definitely flexing on a different type of level. Like,
and she got a lot of backlash.
She did get a lot. Did you see the comments? People were going in on her. They were like, how could you post this? They were talking about children dying and starving. I'm thinking,
And
guys,
Shorty
like,
was just like, I've donated to such and such and such, places, but still annoying. It's kind of selfish because you're promoting, not even promoting, but you're like putting it in people's faces like, oh, you have this. But then again, there's people like in Honduras, my country, where people are struggling. So why don't you
right.
donate to like, you don't gotta, we don't care. Hands down, we
Mm.
don't care about your $80,000 bag. Save that for your friends, okay? Like that's what you
So
can
you don't
do.
think she should have
But
posted it? You don't think that was like
no,
cool for her to post and ask people for her $80,000 bag? Okay.
not that I don't think it was cool. Honestly,
Or like,
I
was it
really don't care.
insensitive? Do you feel like it
It
was
was
insensitive?
insensitive. It was.
Okay.
It
Okay.
was. But then
Mm.
again, Cardi B's gonna do what she wants because she's
Period.
Cardi B.
Right. And that's
And
what we loved her for. We loved her because she didn't care.
she's
And then now
unapologetically her.
she's unapologetically her. And so now when she's posting her bags, it's like everybody wants to have an uproar. So that's why I felt on the end. I was like, it's her money. Like, it's hers.
She's gonna
Like,
want, yeah, exactly. I mean, did you see little baby getting gifted all this stuff? Honestly, I don't even know half of the things that he got, but I know that they were expensive. But
yeah.
let's talk about it. So people were getting at Cardi B about this $80,000 bag, but little baby is getting gifted left and right from celebrity friends, literally probably more than the $80,000 bag. But
Little
we
baby
don't
was
see.
getting, what did he get? He got like,
He got this some brand that I guess they only made about 10 of them in the world or something like that. I don't even know what it was, honestly.
something
But
really exclusive.
yeah. And why didn't little baby get, backlash like how Cardi B did? Is it because she's Cardi B?
Right. I think so. I think so. I think it's kind of like, I guess because somebody gifted it to him, then it's like, oh well, it's okay because he wasn't flexing. It's just what was given to him versus her asking people which one should she get. So
True.
I mean, either way though, either way you look at it, like you said, everybody's getting expensive stuff. Cardi's getting expensive stuff, little babies get, and they all come from the same team. Like they all come under that whole like what's his name, P whatever quality music. They all come from that type of family. So it and it's crazy. Like when these celebrities post these brands, I hope you guys know that's all ads. That's all it is. It's ads. Like, cause really think about it. Like you keep flexing Fendi to us. That's a Fendi. They're influencers. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So like
seriously.
they're gonna put on something, and Fendi is gonna give them those gifts, those outfits, those even the purse, the Birkin. Like, come on. Like these are all just ads. All right,
Okay.
so in our next topic, we are going to talk about the lady's biggest afro.
Yes. So there's a Brooklyn woman who officially breaks the Guinness World Record of the largest afro. Now, I think that's dope. It is like the best thing to see a black woman on a Guinness World Record. I think that's amazing. But I don't think her afro was the biggest. I seen bigger, and I will send you the photos so you can insert the biggest afro that needed to be on a
Afro. So what
world
you felt
record.
like
I
her
think
afro was kind of like weak?
sis got hair. She got more
Okay.
hair than the both of us.
Right.
But I just don't think it was big enough. But you know what? I gotta salute it. I'm happy for our black melanin sister.
Yes, a melanin
But
queen won out here. Another melanin queen won. We just gotta cheer it up. When the melanin queen wins, we are happy out here.
yes. And it's crazy. I was reading the comments on Instagram, and a lot of people were saying the same thing. I was saying like, it's not the biggest afro I've seen, but shout out to her, which is true. I mean, what do you think?
I like her. I mean, her hair was gorgeous. Like, let's just say that. Like, when I saw that afro, I was like, whoo. I don't know if it's like, I have to agree with you. I don't think it was the biggest afro I've ever seen because I've seen some afros
Right.
that actually drop. Like, it gets to the point that it's so big it becomes like hair with heavy gravity on it. but it's really thick in density. Like if you look at her
Yeah.
density, it's like you can even see through the wall. Like it was like, dang. So it's
I'm
super
pretty
thick.
certain. I'm sorry for cutting off. I'm pretty certain that like if you straighten out her hair's gonna go down like
To her
probably
butt.
past her butt, right?
Right.
But as the biggest
That shrinkage
afro,
is real.
there's actually this guy. He's a model. I don't know if you've ever seen him. He has like chinky eyes, and I think he models with his daughter. Like they both
Oh
had
yes, have the
long,
beautiful hair.
yes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're like,
I would have thought he would have got that.
yeah, I would have thought so too. But I guess because he doesn't wear it in an afro, maybe it's not like compared to hers. I wonder how she got that. Like, I wonder what do you do? Do you apply and say, "Hey, I think I got the biggest afro," or like, I wonder how do you get in the book of world records? I'm interested in knowing that. But yeah, that's super dope. I love the fact that she has the biggest. I love seeing just black women just knocking out another record because that's
You know what? We should start doing that as a part of our segment. We should actually
Mhm.
start saluting Black melanin queens and men
Yes,
as well.
and men and binary and trans anybody everyone because at the end of the day we all share the
Queen
same
and
thing
kings.
melanin king queen.
So you know what? We're gonna start doing that from now on. We're gonna start saluting our kings
Yeah,
and queens on an episode. So if you want to be saluted, you can always comment down below and let us know what you
comment down
do.
below. Period. I like that. Oh, I got it's that
Like
pizza.
that pizza.
Okay, so having kids at 40. Okay, we see this going around. We saw this going around. I thought this was a pretty interesting topic. So
Hmm.
the question is choosing to have kids in your 40s a problem? What do you
And
think?
the meme that follows that, it says, if y'all want to be 40 getting a kid dressed for kindergarten, that's on y'all. Now,
The
you want me to
internet
start
is
or you gonna go?
undefeated once again. Go ahead. You can
Gonna
start
go?
off.
Okay. So I say the same thing all the time. I'm sorry, I can't like if I had a choice to have my child in my early 20s, I definitely would have because I just had this thing where I want to grow with my kids. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be 45 and I'm dressing my kid to go to school. I feel like by then I won't be able to see my kid grow because he's 5 and I'm 40. And like by the time he's 20, I'm gonna be freaking old as hell. I'm gonna be 60. It's like, no, I mean, no, no, no. I want to be able to be, I want to be able to run with my kid. I want to be able to see my kid, do whatever sport. Like, I want to be able to help my kid with whatever. Like, I don't want to be one of those parents that's, oh, no, I can't do it. I don't want to. No, I want to be one of those parents that's young and that still got it. Point blank,
Period.
period. But
Period.
unfortunately, I'm going to be one of those parents that's going to be dressing up that kid for kindergarten.
Yeah, listen, I'm with you, girl. I'm gonna be a old mom, but I'll have a nanny. So,
I don't want that. I
well, I
want to be
mean,
with my
I'm gonna pick a
kid.
nice. Okay, well, if I don't have a nanny, I have an auntie. Somebody's auntie is going to help me raise my baby. Like, period. Like, who? I need my husband, my man-in-law, to be like, yo, baby, you gotta get your
So
people here.
you don't mind dressing your kid up for kindergarten in your 40s.
No, because honey, I'm gonna be listen by God's grace, if things go well in my life and I'm healthy, as long as I'm healthy, I'm fine. But I don't mind raising my baby with kindergarten. I mean, do I wish I was a young mom? Yes, but come on, I've already, I'm here now. I gotta thug it out. Like
Right,
I should have
right.
had him
I look at
younger,
my
but no, you
but I
good.
look at my sister and she had my nephew when she was 20 and then
Mm-hmm.
her kids, following after that. And I'm just like, by the time she's 40, my nephew is going to be 20. So it's like
They're
she
all
could
grown up.
travel. And they say the 40s is like the new 20s. So
Mm-hmm.
they're all going to be taking care of each other. The oldest is going to be taking care of
Mm.
the youngest. So she could travel anytime she wants to.
That's true.
Meanwhile, us, we're just starting this mommy life off. She's 40, her
Mm,
kid is 20, and I'm 35, and my kid is like freaking months old. I can't even
right.
travel with sis because I need a
I mean, that's
babysitter.
why you need a nanny. A nanny to side with y'all. Don't play. I agree. I agree. I'm gonna probably be like, dang. While everybody, enjoys their 40s, I'm gonna be here with my little 1 year old.
We here. We can't change it. It's God's
You can't
timing,
change
so that's
it.
all we
And I think
right.
kindergarten is what? Kindergarten usually starts at what, 3 years old or something? Three,
Kindergarten
four,
starts
or
at
five.
4.
4? Okay, well, kindergarten starts at 4. So, I mean, just think about your time span. If you're 30, you'll be 34 with a kindergarten.
Right. I mean,
Our topic of the day. Is this topic of the day? What would you call this? Anyways, let's get into our topic.
so we're gonna insert the clip first, and then we'll speak on it.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Breathe and digest. You're 35 years old and you can look around and see the world. You don't tend to see higher earning men with average looking women. Off rip. If you do see them, they got their average looking woman when they were both really young and he built his way up. But a man earning the kind of money you're talking about does not go for an average looking woman.
I mean, my body is not average, so.
But ma'am, you please don't make me say it.
Say what? I really just wanted some advice. I love your.
I'm giving you advice, but you're not taking it. The advice is, ma'am, you're average looking at best.
I'm taking it in, but.
Okay, but you're not accepting the fact that, okay. Average looking women, average looking woman who's older, average looking older woman with a 13-year-old son, average looking woman with a 13-year-old son with a sketchy baby daddy. This gets worse every time I say something. And now you're asking for a man who's in the top 10% of men. You don't qualify for one. And you're making, I don't want to have to go there, but when you put in all these other factors, why can't you just get a man that's an average guy?
All right, guys. So that was heavy. That was a lot to digest, wasn't it? Like,
it was, and I don't know. I just feel like when I first saw the video, I was like, he has some truth to what he's saying, But then when you sent me the 22-minute clip, I was just like,
right, the full video.
Right. I see where he kind of got annoyed because at first it was a disagreement video.
Before you get started, let's just break down what's really going on. So, as you guys are not familiar, this is Kevin Samuel's podcast. You can find him on YouTube, and he is I guess, love coach, love expert. I don't know his background too deep into it, but I'll leave information up here so you guys can read on that. But pretty much, people are calling into his talk show. I'm sorry, y'all. People are calling into his talk show to ask him questions about their love advice, and he gives just relationship love advice. And this one particular caller kept calling him, and okay, before we get into that's what you don't see. So we have to keep in mind there's the clip that you guys see, and then there's the full video. When you watch the full video, you have a better understanding. So guys, when you see stuff, make sure you watch that full video.
Right.
Because then it'll give you a lot of insight. But yeah, so this particular caller was a woman. She was a melanin, dark-skinned, beautiful woman. And she ended up calling in because she wanted to ask him about a question regarding just her leveling up and stuff like that. And she wants to meet a man of higher value. That was her thing. She wanted to meet a man of higher value, and she called him, and she was just asking him pretty much like, how can she get a man in higher value? And pretty much he diagnosed her, y'all. Like, was it me, or I felt like it was a whooping when he said that point, and we're talking about the full video. When he said, "Oh, this is gonna be a teachable moment," I said, "Oh my god." I said, this is like when you're about to get a whooping. You know, when your parents about, like, somebody's about, or when your teacher's about to make an example of you. That's exactly what I felt when I watched it. I was like,
this is a grown ass woman. And I was just like,
35-year-old woman. But you know, let me know. I felt like, girl, stop asking. He's about to tear you up. But I felt like she kept I felt like she kept going in.
Girl, what annoyed him the most was that it was a certain day for a certain time for a certain topic, and she called in, like you said, she called in too many times about a particular situation when it wasn't meant for that day. So off rip, he was annoyed.
Off rip, he was annoyed. He was like, "So you're just gonna disregard what my topic is?" He said, "You're a businesswoman. You know what business is. Why didn't you book me for a session?" I was like, "Oh, he's about to beat her. He's gonna beat her." I literally was waiting for him to take off his belt and just whoop her. Get your. I thought he was gonna beat her. Like, oh my God, don't beat her on TV. Or I was just lost. I was scared.
Poor lady. But what was your intake on exactly what she was saying and his response to it?
So y'all, let me get my notes. Let me get my notes. So y'all, I had to run and get my notes because you know I have notes everywhere. Where do I start? So note one, the teachable moment is what got me. The part that got me was okay. So what I feel like she was saying her issue was the fact that she needs a high value man, right? She was like, I want a man who makes 6 figures or more, because she says the dudes that make less than her, you know, she can't, like, she's tired of it. She said, you know, whenever she tells them that she, because she's from North Carolina, and she says whenever she meets these guys and she brings up her business, they always want to add in and help her with her business. And pretty much she just feels like she's meeting men who are opportunists, right? And he was like, what? He was just pretty much like, what type of men are you dating? So he started breaking her down. I mean, down to her being a mom, down to her, you know, her level of her education. He was asking her questions on, was the father involved? And I understand that's his whole, you know, that's what pretty much his podcast is all about. Like, he needs to know, he needs to get a nice little background of you.
Pretty much.
He evaluated her, right, of exactly who she is. And pretty much the questions is what really got me, because like it really did help her answer her own questions that I don't know if she really noticed, where when he would ask her a question like, why do you think you need a high value man, she wasn't really able to articulate it verbally. And if you're not, to me, let me know, y'all, write it in the comments. If you're not able to articulate what you're trying to say, that means you haven't really taken time to process.
You haven't digested.
Right. That means you really haven't came to terms with what you're really trying to do. And I think in that whole synopsis, he was like letting her know, sis, you really don't know what you want necessarily. Because he asked her this one particular question that I really liked. He asked her, he said, what do you think that you can bring to a man? Like, what do you think you really can bring to him, a man of high value? And she said, girl, did you see the part where she said, I could tell him how to start his business, and I could teach him how to plant? I said, she lost me. The plants. I said, plant what, girl? And she was like, plant, I guess, vegetables or flowers. Or she says, I love to plant. And I said, you know what, sis? That was a blonde moment, because I have those all the time. I don't know if you've ever been in an argument with a dude, and you in the argument, you swear you know what you're talking about, but when you arguing, you're like lost for words. You're lost for words, and then when you leave the argument, you're like, why the hell did I say that? That was one
Right.
of those
I think
moments.
she
Like
was very nervous. She was
she
probably
was.
nervous.
Well, I don't think she was. I think her feelings were hurt. I think her feelings were so hurt that she was like, girl, I felt like she was getting whooped. You know how to get whooping and your mom whoops you the first time,
Right.
and then you're trying to absorb the pain, and then the second time she whoops you over the top of the. That was what happened. It was a whooping, and if you notice, he kept having the whipping sound. The sound. I was like, is it me or he has the
Yeah.
whipping sound?
Yeah.
I was like,
I was like, oh wow, okay.
I couldn't believe it. But honestly, I really feel like it was definitely a teachable moment for all of us as women. I don't know. Like that was what I got from it. I definitely got that, sis, you might need to reevaluate what you really want. Even myself, after watching that, I reevaluated what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I was like, dang, what can I bring to somebody? And honestly, like it was so informative. I definitely think it was something that I could take away from stuff on that. Now, what do you think? What do you think about everything?
Well, I'm gonna base it off of what people have saw on social
Oh, the
media
clip.
because
Okay, so we did
yeah,
the
because
okay.
yeah, because technically we saw the 20-minute video, so we can
And y'all
actually
should
like
really watch the 20-minute video, y'all, because you're not gonna understand the context of what he's saying if you don't watch the full video.
so pretty much he was annoyed. So that annoyance pretty much is the reason why he answered her the way that he answers her. But if you also watch him or watch any of his clips that he has on social media, this is just who he is as a person. So
Right.
you're gonna get the real raw and uncut like us, right? So I don't know, like what I took from it was first things first, why did he have to bring in her looks into what she wants, right? From a man, like her, like his salary. What did the looks have to do with anything? That's my question.
Like, I guess I mean I feel like he was just trying to well, she brought it up. She brought it up initially. She said, well, can you see me? Do you see me? And he says,
Right.
I see you. And then she was like, so a woman like me, based off of how I look, do you think? So she was the one who kind of introduced
Right.
that, and he
Okay.
was the one who kind of elaborated.
Okay. So for me, I don't even know why she rated herself a 5 and then a 6
Well, she was
after
being
she's all done
honest.
up. Yeah, but because now he can
Ammo.
definitely beat you
Now,
up because now it's like, okay, I'm
he
gonna
could
say
whoop
that
her
you're
ass.
average, right? Because now I'm gonna say that you're average. I want to know if his response would have been the same had she said, oh, I'm an 8 and then I'm a 9. I want to know if his
Yeah.
response would have been the
I
same.
wonder what he would have said. Yeah, I really am curious.
Right, but
He would have.
because she put that there, because she put herself in the average standpoint, now he has that leeway to say, you know what, I'm gonna make sure that you know that you're average, and what you need is an average man. I think
Yeah.
that's what kind of like pretty much put like set her back. Like, this is what I'm rating myself, so this is what the type of guys that I need, and I think that's why, like he said, like, okay, you rate yourself that, so that's what you need type thing.
Mm,
So that's why I kind of
right.
wonder if she would have rated herself an 8, would his response would have been the same.
I
You know what I
don't think
mean?
it would have. I think it would have. I think it would have been the same if she rated herself an 8, because he also was breaking down the fact like she was a single mom, that her child's baby father wasn't really in her
True,
life,
true. And
and
it's
the
just,
fact that she yeah, and
it's a
yeah,
reoccurring issue.
it's a reoccurring issue. And I don't know if you really hear her like in the conversation, she really stuck to the point that she has a business, and she was really driven off of that, which I commend. I know when she talks about her business, it probably took all her efforts, her work, everything to just do what she's doing as a woman. So I get why she brings it up, because let's just be real. We're proud of our accomplishments, and when we're proud, we talk about it. It's natural. But I feel like because she emphasized on it so much, he was trying to let her look at it in a way of like, well,
You have
sis,
to add value. It's not just about the business,
the business.
it's the value. So why can't you get a man who has 6 figures? I mean, well, average, that's average. That doesn't make 6 figures. Because
Mm.
I liked when he said, you don't have to pretty much like men who make six figures don't really go for women who make that. Like they just go for like, pretty much average type of people. In other words.
Well, he said that what men go for eye candies, so it's like the physical. He was like, men don't care about what you have. I don't think it was dismissing like, oh, if you have six figures or not. Like, I think it's just pretty much saying like, men don't care about the money that you make because at the end of the day, they care about what you can bring to them.
What you bring to the table, right?
What you can bring, right? I mean, and again, that's subjective. We don't know what everybody wants something different. So you can't really say six figure men only want this or only want that, because I'm pretty sure there's six figure men who are like, no, you got to make six figures or more because I don't want you to take my money.
He says that too, like he can't change a person, like he doesn't know.
And that's what he kept emphasizing to her. He was like, so he said in a point where he was like, I can't magically make men want you. And I think he was kind of adding that emphasis because he's like trying to tell her, listen, like, this is what you want, and that's nothing wrong with what you want, but the reality is this is what you have. So let's use what you have. And I think too, what I noticed in the comments, people kept referring to the word average as if it's like something like
derogatory,
or look down, derogatory. And I think too, like, average isn't bad. Like, average is literally in the middle. Like, average is like you're just well-rounded. Like, it's just a well-rounded individual. And I think with her, she was not associating average with well-rounded. She was like, honey, these dudes is broke,
average guy,
and I don't want no broke dude. Like, let's just be real. She didn't want no broke dude. That's what she, like, everything was just her money. And she, and again, she has her dad and she has her uncle who do make six figures too. So I imagine the conversations that she has with men a lot is probably associated with money.
So you don't really see that in the clip that they show you on Instagram, but he asked her, does she know anybody, like, personally that makes six figures, like a man that makes six figures? And all she said was two people, which was people that she was related to. So she doesn't really
talking about a lover.
Right.
Like,
so she doesn't
a man with potential.
So her circle is people who pretty much don't make that amount of money. So it's like pretty much you are gonna get what you get.
Right, because of the circle that in the space that you're in, which makes sense, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, when I looked at the 30 minutes, so let me ask you, how did when you watched the 30-second video versus the full video, what was your initial reaction versus after you watched the video?
My initial reaction, I was just like, oh hell no, like what's the problem with her wanting to get a guy that makes the same amount as her? Right. But then when I watched the full 30 minutes, I was just like, okay, now I see, because one, she don't listen. And two, it was just you could kind of see that she's a little bit insecure. Just felt like how she was talking to him and her response.
She broke down. It was a lot. It was a lot. Girl, it was a lot for me as a viewer. Girl, I was looking out the window watching it. I was like,
I don't know.
It was a lot to digest.
I've seen a lot of insecurities.
Yeah, it resurfaced all her issues. She probably was like, I'm doing all of this so I could have a man. I wouldn't be surprised if she's the type of woman who did all of this, six figures, putting on lashes, makeup, all that, just to have her man. I would not be surprised, because a lot of women, we do it. A lot of women, we do a lot of things. Granted, a girl will do it for herself any day. This is light, stuff. But there's women who really put in the work to do this for themselves, and they enjoy doing these things. And then, there's a little piece of you that you hope someone can acknowledge all the hard work that you've done. And I think she wanted to get that acknowledgement from those men who make the six figures. And then she's realizing, I'm not getting that. I'm getting a lot of dudes who are opportunists. But I really think there's a rooted issue, because she even said her baby father and her, they're not together because she tried to motivate him to make a business and he didn't want to do it. And I'm thinking, but sis, that's probably not who he was. Right. So I think a lot of the things she uses the business as her crutch of why things don't work out, but I think it's a deeper issue with her stuff. I think she has stuff that she may not be trying to acknowledge. And honey, he wasn't about to break it down, because he told her to book a session. He was like, book a session if you want to talk about this. Because he was, I think that's what he was mad about. He was probably like, listen, girl, I'm talking about you right now.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's where the annoyance came from, because it was a disagreement day, and then all of a sudden she comes out of nowhere and is asking a question that didn't need to be asked at that very moment.
Yeah.
Annoyed.
Once you annoy somebody, it's like their whole demeanor is like, but I do think that teachable moment, I mean, honestly, in all fairness, I could really say that, I mean, just looking on the other side too, I think he got to work on his delivery too, because he was like, you need therapy. And I was thinking, brother, you need therapy too. Like, this whole room needs therapy. Can we read the room? Everybody needs therapy here, because his delivery, his lack of tolerance, even the things he was saying, well, you won't die alone. There's some issues going on that side too, So don't even think that he's all good and gravy just because he wears a tailored suit. But yeah, it was a lot. It was a good episode though. Yeah.
There's a clip on Instagram, because you said you was talking about his delivery. There's a clip on Instagram where he's asking the guy, like, what's your penis size? Like, are you big or are you small? And the guy didn't want to say. He was like, so you must be small then, because you don't want to say size. Like, you gonna know if your thing is big enough. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So yeah, I do agree with you when you say that his delivery could have been a little bit better, because the moment that she started, Shorty was like, once she
got on her phone, I said, oh, she hurt her. Because when you try to avoid things, you be looking on your phone.
And you smile, you smirk, and you be like...
There is no avoiding it. So the real question is, do you think he was bashing Black women? Because a lot of things were saying like, oh, he's bashing Black women. And I'm going to be honest, he was using Black women as a lot of our examples. Like, oh, that's the problem with y'all Black women. And, I really didn't appreciate that, because I was thinking, sir, there's a whole problem in this Black culture.
Right.
It's a blind leading the blind. Let's just be real. So when he was saying that, I didn't like those comments, but I feel like, was he bashing her because she was a Black woman? No, I didn't get that energy. I felt like I think his energy and delivery was because of what her responses were, and honestly,
her coming onto the show at the wrong time.
Yes, coming on the show at the wrong time. So he, like he said, it was a teachable moment. Damn.
Now, I have a question before we end this off.
Yeah.
What would you say, and what would you do if that was you?
Well, first, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. Once he looked irritated, I would have probably been like, all right, I'll call back. Like, because I don't like confrontation. I don't like that energy. Like, if you told me that you don't want to talk to me, I like to go. Like, I'm not gonna fight and argue with you. And two, I'm gonna be real, she got choked up and she got a loss for words, because her mind was probably going at 100 miles. By the time he was asking her all those questions, he was, and I'm gonna be real with you.
Probably sweating. She was probably like,
ooh, it's too much questions. So I could see why she froze up. Let's just be real. If somebody's hitting you on the spot with questions, you're probably like, what? Like, no, especially questions no one has ever asked you, you're going to get choked up.
Yeah.
So I definitely think she got choked up, and I hope she figures that out with her love life, because if she didn't learn after that show, if she still want a 6-figure dude and she don't care what the root of the problem is, and says, like you say, you might die alone. You got to figure it out, girl.
She's 35. I feel like around that age, women are already set with what they want. They already had this mentality probably years prior. So they've been living on like this for a while. And she said that her last relationship was, I think, last year, that lasted about a year. So at that very moment, you got to think to yourself, is it me or is it them? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think, honestly, when you get older, like you say, you do start to become more like, this is who I am, and you're not willing to bend or flex. So I don't know. I think personally she needs to get that together, and I think he need to get it together too. It was kind of like watching two crazy people in one room, honestly. I was looking at both of them like, I was like, what's he gonna say? What's she gonna say? Like, it's too much. That was a lot. So yes, y'all. So Julie, do you want to finish us up on our
positive note? Yes.
Positive note.
Unfortunately, I had left off a positive note that was cut off, but it's okay. It's okay.
Sorry.
It's actually it will actually be on IG, so that's fine. So that you guys can actually follow our IG. So it'll be somewhere down below. Yes. So I just want to leave this off by saying, don't let fear consume you. I see a lot of the times that people are afraid to start or start over. So
Mhm.
it's hard because fear is what gets to us all the time, right? Like we get afraid. We are so afraid to like literally start something because we're like, oh, I don't know if this person is doing it and this person is like actually, selling that, and this person is doing this and this person's doing that, and this person's not going to support me the way that I want them to support me.
Mm,
Just do it, okay? Because if you let
I
fear
like
consume
this.
you, then you will not get it done. So
I love that. I love
just
that. Yo, are you talking to me? Because I literally started this podcast thinking of something that was like, wow, I can't believe it took us this long to do this. And we've been talking about this for months.
yes. And
Like,
it's okay to start over. A lot of the times, you know, we neglect our business and then we're like, oh, you know what? Forget it. Like I don't even want to do it anymore because people are not gonna like my photos the way that they did it, the way that they did before. It's like,
mm,
no, continue on, continue on. And if it's something that you don't want to do, then it's okay to start over. If it's a business that you had before and it didn't success and didn't succeed how you wanted it to, it's okay. You know what I mean? Like you can start over. For example, what's his name? Jay-Z. He had Rocko, whatever that shit was, whatever it
Rockaway.
was called.
Mhm.
Yeah. Where is it at now?
He dropped it and he went on to other things.
Right. P. Diddy, all these celebrities then
And I think
had
they still sell Rockaway in like Marshalls.
still annoying. It's not luxury, but the man is a whole billionaire and he has businesses. So don't be afraid to start over or start again. Just do the damn thing. Just do
Yeah,
it.
I love that. It's all about restarting. Just do it. Like I love that. That's so true. I like that. That was a really good end of the note because I think we are naturally always thinking like, okay, well, we've been doing this for so long, let's just stick to it. And it's nothing wrong with starting over. It's really no age to new chapters. It's just all about enjoying that chapter once you start it. So I like
No,
that.
seriously.
I love it.
Seriously, because I see a lot of people on Instagram also that they don't post, even myself. Like I don't post on my photography and on my for the culture as much, but I'm not afraid to be like, you know what, I'm gonna do this all over again. But again, if it's not something that I don't, if it's
And it's
not something
okay
that
if
I
you
see
don't want to
myself
do
doing,
it.
I'm eventually I'm gonna find something that I want to do, and I'm going
Mhm.
to succeed at it. It's all
Right.
about just figuring yourself out. And I've seen
Right. I
people
love it.
firsthand. I've seen people firsthand do it. So
I love it. I love that. Yay! All right, guys. So this is the end of our video. Again, Instagram Gina Jose,
and I'm Julie, and we're
and
gonna try to do this again.
we are
All right,
Melanin
melanin. Un.
Uncut.
I don't know why she keeps saying it slow.
Girl, whatever. So go ahead, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you think, and we'll see y'all next time.